You are looking live at a daily chart of the Nasdaq. Welcome to my daily review. Today is Monday, August 19th, and the Nasdaq had a 22% rally recently from 15,222 up to 18,671 on July 11th. Then it pulled back 16% from July 11th to August 5th, and since then we've rallied up above the moving averages. More than 13% rally here off the lows there from 15,708. Closed today at 17,876. It was up 245 points or 1.39%. You can see the volume was higher today than the options expiration day last Friday. So that's pretty significant for, for a summertime. Normally the summertime has lower volume. So that's pretty significant, showing that, institutional support here as we rally on through the moving averages. I wanted to go to another couple of different charts here. The mid caps 400 above the moving averages as well. IWM, another strong move here. So it's across the board. The SPY, well above the moving averages here. SPY looks a little stronger than the Nasdaq here, 2.6% above its 50, while the Nasdaq is let me see, 1.6% above. You could see, I want to just hone in here for a minute. And look at the 10 EMA, which is this green line, is now piercing the 21, which is a little slower. The faster moving averages are trading through the slower ones here. And if this continues, eventually it's going to trade through the 50 and the 21 will trade through the 50. And we're going to get ourselves in a power trend if this trend continues here. And I think it will. I'm just concerned about the, when it made this move, that the last 3 days, that the low of the session is above the 21. So if I go back, let me go back a couple days here into last week. The 9th was, I'll get rid of this, kind of annoying. This is last week where we had the big drop and we come through. We have the day 1 attempted rally, day 2, day 3, day 4, which is the Friday, not quite the follow through day, came up against the 10 EMA. And then last week we had, traded through the 10 EMA. Then on Tuesday, we had our follow through day, Wednesday, a rest day, Thursday, a follow through day up against the 50 now. I think you're going to get rejected there. Then on Friday, we had just kind of a rest day. Then we come back Monday and have essentially another follow through day. So it's been like a follow through day, a rest day, a follow through day, a rest day, now a follow through day. Maybe tomorrow will be a rest day. Who knows? We'll just take it one day at a time. But definitely 245-point move, 1.4%, closing at 17,876. So good times for the Nasdaq, and we should be aggressively pursuing this market. 75-80% invested here, or even more so. Stepping on the gas pedal. I'll probably wait till we get into a power trend before I get 100%, but I've been increasing exposure gradually. I'm just going to go through a couple of these Magnificent Seven, because some of them aren't so magnificent. If they're above their moving averages, I'll look at them. But this is Apple. It was downgraded today. Anyway, just a pause day while the rest of the index moved higher. Tesla above its moving averages, had a nice strong day today. If you look at that close, I believe the close was pretty. Yeah, there it is. The first part of the session was kind of lollygag, a little timid, but towards the end there, the last couple of hours really started gaining strength. I had a couple friends in the morning saying, this tape's boring, I'm going fishing. And I said, fine. I'm trying to get my bathroom done here, so I'm collecting dust here, just covered with dust as we remodel our bathroom. So my tile guy hasn't been showing up, so I gotta crack the whip on these guys. So I've been staying home and watching this market here, and I like what I'm seeing. Not really liking Microsoft or Google, but I do like, or Amazon. They're down, kind of lollygagging. But NVDA definitely showing this double bottom base pattern up 6 days in a row. You see the sell off, the move back higher, then The trade down on August 5th to 80.59. It's just been straight up. Yeah, I think 6 days in a row here for NVIDIA. Closed right there. I don't know if this is accurate. Wait a minute. Yeah, I thought it closed around 130 today. Anyway, 129.70 after hours. So good day for NVIDIA. I'm going to move on because the news this morning was all, AMD was just buying this AI company for 4.9 billion, paying 3/4 cash, 25% stock. And Lisa Su, she's playing the long game here with AI. She's a pretty savvy CEO, and you don't expect this to be accretive right away, but down the road, this is going to pay dividends for AMD. The market knows it and rewarded AMD. Usually, when you're an acquiring company, you sell off a little bit because they did have to, spend some money and some stock to buy this company. But Wall Street rewarded them, and now it's at the crossroads here where the short-term moving averages are curling higher, the RS rating is going through the moving averages, and now it's right here at the 200, so it needs to power through the 200. Pretty similar to NVIDIA, except for longer term, right, in terms of a double bottom type base pattern here for NVIDIA, so there's no reason why this thing can't start to rally. And this could be a catalyst for sure. Broadcom was down on the news because, they're competitors, and it seems like a good move for AMD. Closed higher, though, had a bullish engulfing candle there. That looks pretty darn good. Similar type of pattern for this, the double bottom with that August 5th sell-off. And now they're recovering, but still you can see it's consolidating in a base. So Broadcom looks pretty darn good. MPWR, I call it manpower, but it's monolithic power systems. Just consolidating today, gains, flat while the Nasdaq was up 1.4%, but that's healthy action here above the moving averages. You got to allow the moving averages to catch up at some point. They can't all be like ASTS, which is obviously having a short squeeze here. Wow, up 39 after hours. Only a 24% gain today after a 50% gain on Thursday. Gave a little pullback. Yeah, 50% gain, a little pullback on Friday, 1%. If you go up 50% and only give back 1%, that's a tell. I illustrated that on my weekend video. Now today it's up 24%. It looks like it wants more after hours. I got to go to the, I was looking at the minute chart, 1 minute chart, and it doesn't really show it because it only gives you like half the session. So I've got to go to a 5-minute chart, and every time this thing dips, it's being bought. Like today, this is the move here, the 50% move on Friday, and you can see every time it dipped here, and I'm just talking like a couple of minute dip here, 5 or 10 minute dip, and it gets bought. Rallied up on Friday morning and then really had a nice pullback. And once again, though, the dip started buying and then sold off into the close on Friday. Now today, every dip bought. I mean, this is ridiculous. It tells me that the shorts are covering every time it comes in. The shorts are trying to get out. So, and look at this high volume close here. I think the shorts are still getting fried here. This is your classic short squeeze. You think, man, I can't buy it up here. I don't even know what the percentage is above the 10 EMA. Yeah, it's 46% above the 10. So this is one for the textbooks, folks. This is a move from, what was it? Just $2 not very long ago. Yet in May, and now it's the middle of August, and we're at well, it looks like it's going towards $40 tomorrow. So that would be a nice 20 bagger in a pretty short period of time for ASTS. I just wanted to show you that one. It's not in any group. Just showing you how when you get a short squeeze, how dips are bought instantly. They're bought every time, and that's what you want to see. Especially if you play options with that thing, you just have to sit on it, let it run higher. I mean, people are making a lot of money playing the options with the ASTS. Anyway, I'm liking this market. I like it a lot. Why? Well, because a lot of things are working. The drug stocks are especially working. So now I'm going to show you Eli Lilly, which is not working. It's just the last couple of sessions, just forming this base here. Anytime you come straight up off the bottom like this, there's going to be profit taking. There's going to, it needs some time to form a handle. That's a real steep base here. just a V-shaped recovery. So, you know, anytime, and I show you a lot of stocks like this, kind of like the index though, the index rallied straight up from the bottom. So, you know, you think at some point there's going to be some profit taking. But the Eli Lilly still looks fine. It looks, you know, if you look at a weekly chart, you can see the big run, and now it's just consolidated 4 weeks, and then, you know, the slight recovery. Lilly's fine. I have to show you some other names though that I am liking. This is ADMA. I've said many times you got to listen to their conference calls. I posted it on Twitter a few times. But to those who don't pay attention, you're missing out on a heck of a stock. This is just a nice gap higher, and then a couple of days of flagging here, you know, kind of coiling, you know, higher lows, lower highs, just pinching in and out. Today pops 4%. ADMA looks fantastic. TGTX, this is one that I've had on the list for a long time. I know people get tired of it. Sometimes, you know, I always say, you got to be patient with stocks, and people don't want to be patient. They want it to go up right away. And this one, you really had to be patient with. It undercut its 50, came up, it had a strong earnings report. It's got all the fundamentals, and then just popped higher. TGTX, yeah, nice move today, up 14%. Right out of the gate, that one popped. VKTX, Viking Therapeutics, up 17%. Thank you very much. So these biotech stocks are really moving nicely, and I'm liking it because this is the sector that I do like, the tech sector, the hardware, software, you know, biotech. Those are my you know, stronger suits. I'm not real strong with the commodities, the oil and gas, the miners. I'll leave that for other people. But so I'm liking this market. That's MIRM. Another strong stock, just you know, pulling back to its 10 and finding support, up 3%. We'll take that every day, all day long, all week, all month, all year. This is Halozyme Therapeutics. This one's we got fantastic fundamentals, and now really starting to break out here of this base, moving higher, pull back to the 10. You can see the earnings line heading north, the relative strength line heading north. So there's just a lot of stuff. I can't get to all of it. UTHR, another one making a new high, breaking out. I mean, there's just so many of them. So, but you know, for the sake of time, and I want to get to other stuff, I'm going to stop there with the drugs. I want to get to the home builders because I've had these on. I've had Pulte Homes on my ready list, and it's just kind of, you know, this is consolidating here nicely, and it's rate sensitive, up 2% today, but I'm expecting a bigger move from these. This is Lennar up 2%, starting to move. Toll Brothers, more luxury type of home builder, up 3.3% today. You know, just cruising with the moving averages here, finding support, trading higher. Obviously, it's sold off with the index, obviously rate sensitive, but I'm keeping my eye on these. Have I bought any yet? No, but I am keeping my eye on them. DHI is probably my favorite in the group because it's the largest and most liquid. But yeah, I like the home builders, and just keep my eye on them. And I had Pulte on the ready list, but Lennar looks good too, and so do the others that I showed. So I just wanted to point that out. A couple others that didn't participate today, but stocks that I like. This is TMDX, made a new high. I think it was about 175 and then pulled back. Still, you know, even though it closed at the low, they had inverted hammer. Yeah, it hit 175.73, 2.8% above this rising 10. So as long as it stays above the 10, as long as the 10 is rising, you're going to make money in this thing. It's not going to happen every day, but yeah, this thing looks fine. Intuitive Surgical, yeah, once again, you know, trending with the 10. As long as it's above the 10, you're making money with this thing. LNTH, now this one pulled back to its 50. You know, broke out of this little shelf pattern, made a new high at what, 126.89 on July 16th, and pulled back real sharply here to its 50. I expect it to find support there. Pretty spectacular growth numbers here, 23% sales, 17% earnings growth. That's nothing to sneeze at, but sharp pullback. Let's see if it finds support and can rally back through that 100 level. And that's it for the medical products. So I did the drugs, I did the home builders, I did the medical products. I got to get to the software names. Spotify, this is one that I own for full transparency. Somebody thought that I own every stock that I post on my site, which I don't. Those are just stocks ready, set up in bases. Spotify, TMDX, and NVDA, Eli Lilly, TGTX, and ASPN, which I bought. Those are the six that I own. So I'm about 60% invested full positions, just for transparency. This is Spotify. I've had this on the ready list for a long time, and it's not going anywhere. It's playing a possum. You know, you can see the consolidation here, base on base pattern, in the last couple of weeks, just trading sideways. Today made a little move, but gosh, you see the earnings line going north. I'm thinking that this stock's going to go north at some point. Yeah, I had a nice little move today, bounce off the 10, up 2%, but I'm expecting bigger things from Spotify, but looking good, looking very healthy. GoDaddy, sometimes as Mick Jagger says, you got to stop and look around in 19th nervous breakdown, right? Uh, and you got to look around at GoDaddy. This is just a one-way stock. I mean, if you're looking for strength, which I do every day, I just look around the indexes. I look around stocks making new highs. I look around for stocks up with volume. And this stock is always showing up on my screen. So it's another day ending with Y. So it's another day with GoDaddy, making a new high, right? This is just an unbelievable stock right now. No, it didn't make a new high, 64.25, 64.02, but you get the point. Like I said, as long as that green line is going higher, and this green line has been going higher since, last year. So you're just making money as long as it stays above the green line, and the green line goes higher, you make money. So pretty simple concept. Their Palantir has been really strong since its earnings report. You can see it sold off with the market, bottomed on the August 5th, and now has rallied back. And Palantir looks strong too in the software names. APP, I had this one on the ready list, and it just traded flat today. Once again, stocks that come straight up off the bottom, 60 up to 80 something, yeah, 87. I can even do that in my head. I mean, that's like a 30% move, right? So now it's just going to go sideways, allow these moving averages to catch up. The relative strength line went straight through the moving averages, which is an indicator that I like to use for, buying stocks. And now it's just going sideways, allowing the moving averages to catch up. The 10 has crossed above the 50 here. So I'm expecting app to make a move. It's not going to go up every day. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not, Wednesday, but sometime soon, maybe this week, maybe next week. I expect this thing to make new highs above the old 91.91. App 11 has strength. And as long as the market cooperates, yeah, you just got to expect these moves straight up from the bottoms to have some profit taking and to stall a little bit. That's okay. Buyers will come in and take it higher. MNDY, they reported last Monday and just had a fantastic move last Monday, up 15%, and now is climbing higher. Today had a 2.5% move. So the software group, there's a lot of them that I could show, but I'm going to stop there. There's a lot of them that look good, and I like the retail names. The retail sales data showed that the U.S. consumer is strong. The retail names were good for a day or two, and then today they kind of, I'll get to it in a minute. SE, this is one that I like, certainly one that was actionable. I had it on the ready list, kind of extended now though, is up 4.3% today and 11% above the 10. But you can see the 10 driving through that 50. Now the 21's doing the same thing. The RS line heading due north, but once again, 55 to 82, that's a pretty quick move in a very short period of time. You can do that in your head, right? What is that, like more than 50% for sure, right? I better not do math on the fly. I'll screw it up every time. Dick's Sporting Goods, one that I had on the ready list, just kind of flat today. You can see the double bottom base pattern kind of flattening out. I'm expecting the retail group to be strong though after that retail sales data, and it's kind of disappointing me a little bit. ONON is one that I had. Yeah, this is just flat today. they didn't do a whole lot. So I'm kind of a little disappointed here with the retail group today. BIRK is another one just kind of flat, flat like the sandals. Still set up in a base though. I don't mean to mislead you. Set up in the base, just didn't work today. Melly, this one we had in the ready list. This one, like SE, it gives you some, exposure to international stocks, and this is a Brazil company that's just ripping higher, making new highs. So Melly looks good. So not all of the retail names are doing, flat. Some of them did well, and I just wanted to point that out. I think Crocs too. Crocs is doing much better, up 2.4% today, up against the 50. So if it can rally back through there, I'm still a watcher of Crocs. I believe that thing is kind of undervalued a little bit. Let me see here. Okay, let's move on. I've got to move on to the shipping names because Zim reported this morning, and they had a strong report. They have this massive dividend that people like, but it was up nearly 17% with volume. So, just pointing out some areas of strength today. This is DAC, another shipper that was strong, up 2%. Just, made a bottom and coming off the lows there. So it looks pretty good to me. Another group that I'm just pointing out strength here. And that is the oil and gas, which I told you I'm not really fond of the oil and gas, but I'm just acknowledging strength, making new highs up 2.5%. So that looks good. That's CNX Resources. LB, this is a land bridge, a recent IPO, broke out of the IPO base and making new highs. So, if you're a technician, you got to like that, right? It's just pulling back to the moving averages, finding support every time. So yeah, that's a thing of beauty right there. A Venom, which is one that we had on our ready list recently that kind of took off there. You can see that 41.22, the cup with handle, nice shakeout down to 37 and now trading at 47. That's Viper Energy, VNOM, LNG. This is one of those oil and gas transportation pipeline. You can see the big base here, the pullback now making new highs. So I'm just pointing these out as areas of strength. It's not something that I'm buying or, going to get put 50% of my portfolio on commodities. That's not me at all. Just pointing out some strength. Also, another area of strength that I don't really trade in is the gold. I mean, I think gold and, there's not, anyway, it just made a new high. I'm just pointing out strength here. Alamos gold looks fantastic. And it's going higher without me, making new highs without me. This is AU, another minor Anglo gold, and it's made a new high today as well. So just showing you some strength there. All right, the restaurant retail group was downgraded today, and this is kind of something that look, with the retail sales, the way it came out last week, you'd think these things would start rocking, and then this is like a coordinated attack on the retail group, which makes me a little suspicious that all these firms come out and downgrade Shake Shack, Bros, Sweet Green. Just kind of just a little too skeptical for me. I'm just been at this game too long to think that, oh wow, okay, these things are done. They're getting downgraded. This is Shake Shack. I forget who downgraded. It doesn't matter. It pulled back to its 10 EMA today and found support. Closed near the mid-range of its sessions. Got that buy point there. I just call it 106, and it's trading a tick below it. So maybe, just maybe, the downgrade is an opportunity to get in on this weakness here. It was only down 2.5%, so it reacted okay to the downgrade. It's just a little suspicious for me that all these downgrades would come right after the retail sales data. Bros, rejected it to 200 here. That does not look good, but it can rally back through. It's closed these gaps from back here, and I'm just keeping my eye on Dutch Bros. Another one that was downgraded today, Sweet Greens. It didn't even pull back to its 50. Down 6% though. That's pretty rough on a downgrade. Still 5.1% above this rising 10 EMA. And then CAVA, they report this week, and this one made a new high. It traded above par today for the first time, I believe. Yeah, first time above par, so new high for CAVA. Like I said, they're going to report after the bell on August 22nd. Don't want to get ahead of myself. All right, I believe that's it for me for today, except for, like I said, Mick Jagger sings, we want to stop and look around. So in honor of the great Steve Jobs, I have one more thing. I want to go to the Palo Alto Networks earnings report this evening. It seemed like a pretty good report. They beat on the top and bottom line. They initiated a 500 million stock buyback. I can see it's up less than 1% after hours. We'll see how that reaction is tomorrow. I know the CEO is going to be doing his his TV circuits, on Bloomberg or, the financial news networks. But right there above three, you can call it 346. That's an area of interest for me, and it's right there after hours. You can see it's got this little box pattern, right? If you're into the Darvis box pattern. So we'll see if it can break above there tomorrow, break above 350 and start get rolling here. See what the CEO has to say after hours, but definitely a strong report, and that's all a company can do is report the data, and a 500 million stock buyback program is nothing to sneeze at. CYBR, this is one that I have on my ready list as well. Made that low of what, 230, and now it's at 281, so a nice $50 move. We'll see what happens with this one tomorrow regarding, the Palo Alto strong report tonight. Fortinet's another one that I have on my ready list. It's been straight off the bottom. I mean, $54 up to 74. You think it would just kind of handle out here and allow this moving average to catch up. I was a little hesitant to put it on because it was, like 8% above its 10 EMA, and now it's 6.5% above. It was flat today. So maybe it'll just go flat for a few sessions, allow these moving averages to catch up. And anyway, that's it for me. I do have quite a few stocks on my ready list. I mentioned quite a few of them in this video, and I'll highlight a few more tomorrow morning, but I don't own every single one of those, not at all. Anyway, that's it for me. We're definitely in a strong uptrend since making the lows off the bottom here on the Nasdaq. And like I said, you just got to stop and look around and see what's actually happening in the market. I believe that this index could very well get itself into a power trend. It's going to need some time here for the 21 and the 10 to rally through the 50. That's pretty severe correction there. A 16% correction does not happen very often. A pretty rare bird there. So, V-shaped recovery would not surprise me to new highs. I'm not saying I expect it. I take things one day at a time, but that would not surprise me. Anyway, at mcstockcharts.com, we never give up. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.